Hello everyone, and it has been a while since I've uploaded a video on this channel. Uh, and now, here I am. My sister is back on school. This is her first day back. Um, so that leaves me with time to, you know, record some commentaries here and there. I can't promise I'll do daily commentaries because, one, it is kind of hard to, manage this channel and then my main channel where I dive more into editing and whatnot. And so this channel in particular is just something for me to, it's just an outlet, if you will. I've been thinking that I'll probably be like, uploading some Red Dead Redemption 2 videos here. uh I left off and I dropped the game for a bit because you know i got I got busy with the finals content, and I kind of want to, get back into the game. Last I remember, I was pretty much uh, escaping the town Valentine because a train robbery gone wrong, I think. I actually don't remember why we left Valentine. We just know that, well, I just know that we were getting hunted down because they found Dutch, and the owner of the train, decided, hey, I want to pursue these fuckers who stole my train, or the stole shit from my train, and boom, new camp. And then you should be seeing gameplay of Minecraft with me and my sister. Uh, I've been, I've been trying to make an effort to hang out with her a little bit more, especially during the times where she doesn't have school, like, winter break. I try to make an effort to, spend time with her because, growing up, I never had that. I never had a sibling, and so I don't really want her to feel alone. And I also want to give her, and teach her what I've learned through video games and such. So I've been, teaching her the ropes of survival Minecraft because she primarily plays creative, and I want to get her into survival because if you ask me, I think survival is just the game mode for Minecraft. I see it as a survival sandbox game. And to talk a little bit more about my sister, she's like in her fourth grade, and I've been thinking about this late last night. Like I couldn't sleep. Uh, I've been thinking like she's like almost 8 or 9 now. And pretty soon she's gonna be getting into her teen years, and this particular house. It's not a house actually. I think I've come clean about it in an older video of mine on the main channel. I live in a trailer. I own the only room there is to the trailer, and then my mom and my sister reside in the living room slash kitchen. Yeah, and I've been thinking about like how would she feel like later on as years go by, because there isn't exactly another room in this fucking place. I feel like my mom has been thinking about, moving out, but for me specifically, I have been thinking about, moving out of a trailer, the trailer, if you will. Because, there's barely any space here, and we're paying $1,400, no, not 1,400, 1,140 per month, and that, that's not accounting for electricity as well. Yeah, it's a bitch, but there isn't really any like apartments or even like small houses nearby that are, cheap. I've looked around and it's not fucking cheap. I guess I'll talk about finances here because I don't really have anything to talk about right now. I see with me, I just click record and then boom, I start talking, and the magic happens. I don't script any of these. I don't like scripting anything because that just doesn't seem like me. You know, if I'm gonna be scripting anything, that'll be saved for the main channel, right? Because that's where I play some sort of persona, whatever. I don't know if you'd even call it a persona. And here I'm just myself because like I said earlier, is a fucking outlet for me. So, you know, I've thought about it for a bit, and you know, I think I want to, you know, invest a lot, basically all of my time into YouTube. Let's see what goes on from there. I'll give myself like a few months, maybe several months or so. And if things don't really pick up from there, you know, I'll start looking for jobs. And as to what, you know, I'll be applying for, you know, I have no fucking clue, honestly, because I have a fucking associate's degree of arts. You know, what the fuck am I gonna do with that? Not anything that I want to do, that's for sure. I hear the feds outside. I hear people outside. I don't know who's outside, but no one's gonna find out that I do crack cocaine here. No one will. You guys are peering into a world that I've been hiding from everyone. I'm a crack addict. Ear to ear. I might be joking. Might not be. Right, anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, jobs. So, you know, one thing was, you know, looking into fast food, but that's a bitch in itself. So probably not. So I don't know, you know, what other jobs I could be doing other than fast food. I guess I could be looking into some editing jobs because, you know, it's my hobby, you know. But as I've stated like countless times, I don't think anyone's gonna be hiring like an editor through fucking Indeed or something. I don't know. A lot of the film industry is just fucking from word of mouth and, you know, clout, if you will. And that would have to require me to go out there. You know, there are internships, but you know, they're not even paid. So, you know, what's the point? I'd rather just invest my time into YouTube. As much as you would like to call me a bum or whatnot, you know, I feel like I'm doing more with my time if I'm doing, you know, what I actually want to do, you know, YouTube. And instead of just, you know, going out into the film industry and going nowhere with it, you know. You know, a funny thing is, a big YouTuber was like contacting me. I'm not gonna say who. They were like contacting me. I don't know why. Oh fuck. My nose is bleeding. It's from the crack cocaine. They just saw my the finals content from the final server. They're like, hey, you know, I enjoy your stuff, you know. You really put a lot of effort into it. And he was talking about how, you know, his earnings and shit, like, oh, you know, way to rub it in my face, you know. Like, I get it, you know, it's the very reason why I want to do YouTube in the first place is because, you know, first and foremost, you know, it's a hobby of mine, right? But second, you know, you could fucking actually earn money from it. He was telling me his earnings. I was like, wow, so fucking cool. I didn't actually say that. But in my mind, I was like, wow, so cool. Yeah, sure. And he was talking about how you should do it with like a strategy and whatnot. And yeah, you do. Like if you really want to dive into, you know, monetization, you know, you do what any typical YouTuber does and you follow the fucking algorithm and hop onto the trend of what is popular. And people like commentaries. So, you know, I'm doing that. But I don't do these commentaries because, you know, it's popular. I do it because, you know, it's the only way for me to know how to express myself. Because I can't really do it with people. I'm just disconnected like that, you know. And I don't really see myself changing that anytime soon. And he was talking about like, oh, do you know how much, you know, you need to start earning? Do you know how much subscribers and whatnot for you to start earning money? And, you know, I give him my response of like 1,000 subscribers and not really knowing the watch time hours. But he did, after that, he was like, he told me his answer and then he really do anything else after that. Fuck. He didn't really do anything else after that. I don't know what he wanted from me, if I'm being honest. Maybe he was trying to look into like recruiting me as an editor or hiring me, but I don't know. If I somehow get a YouTuber to fucking hire me for editing, I might do it. Let's be honest. I might have to do it if, you know, my financial situation doesn't improve within, you know, these next few months or so, I'd say. Fuck, my nose, god damn. So right now I'm just, you know, diving into YouTube, doing what I can, you know, making the most of, you know, my life as it is. You know, I like doing YouTube and I like playing video games, and, you know, I'm just combining both hobbies into one, essentially. So I feel like I've noticed myself getting more, you know, aggressive towards... No. I guess I have to keep my fucking towel with me, like, holding it, you know? So if you hear any ruffling, my bad. I'm just trying to keep my nose from fucking bleeding into the fucking shirt. Oh, it already did. It already has. Fuck. As I was saying, I feel like I've noticed myself getting more, aggressive towards criticisms and or, like, you know, people in general just trying to tell me what to do. I feel like that comes with the fact that, you know, throughout my life I didn't really have any sort of guidance other than my mom, but it wasn't really guidance and more just, you know, protection, if you will. Aside from the few, you know, couple of lessons here and there, I didn't really learn anything. And so when I have people, you know, telling me this and that, I feel like it's just not needed, you know? I'm a fucking grown man now. I'll make my own decisions here. You know, I'm not a fully functioning adult, but, you know, I'm still an adult regardless, so I can make my own decisions. I feel like I don't need that fucking guidance anymore. And if I really do need help, you know, I'll fucking ask for it, you know? I don't fucking need anyone peering into my life. You see, I don't particularly make it my business to learn other people's shit. And I get that from my mom, because, you know, she's also had problems with that, and especially recently. But I won't get into there, you know, because that's her business. But, you know, I got that from my mom, you know. Don't get into chisme. You know, I don't give a fuck about spilling tea or anything like that. That's just not me. I like being calm. I like the peace. I like peace. We're gonna get Greenland to protect America. It's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I've grown more aggressive. I guess it's just me trying to... I don't know. I guess it's just a combination of the kid inside me, you know, wanting to do YouTube, and the adult side of me, you know. That's just like, let me do what I want to do with my life. Let me do my life's purpose. You know, the way I'm going about it is probably not the best, but I am fortunate enough to, you know, be able to do YouTube. Yeah. You know, at times I feel like I set myself up for failure because, you know, the only good thing I'm doing is editing. And I'm using good loosely because, you know, I'm not as good as those editors you see. Fuck, I'm not as good as those editors you see on TikTok, right? I'm not that good of editing, of an editor. I just do, you know, occasional B-rolls, fading out. And I'm kind of delving into, you know, visual effects here and there. But for the most part, you know, I'm not at that level, you know. I'm not good. But, you know, it's the only thing I have going for my life that I can monetize. And why, you know, invest my time into something that I don't want to do when I could hone my craft and be able to potentially monetize it, you know? I think that's just my, you know, my thought process here and there. But I am lucky to be here. I am lucky. I'm lucky to have a parent, to say the least, right? I'm lucky to have a parent. I'm lucky to have my sister. And I'm lucky to have a roof over my head with running electricity to do my hobby and try to monetize it. You know, I go on and about money. I really fucking hate money. But the reality of my situation is money is everything. As much as we can be like, oh, what matters most is family. Oh, you can't find happiness in money. No, they're fucking lying to you. listen, just because you have, more often than not, right? If you don't have money, you're not gonna be fucking happy because you're gonna be fucking stuck trying to make meets end with one paycheck. So you have to pay bills, you have to pay fucking rent, maybe pay off a mortgage or something. I don't fucking know. And electricity, water, fucking all that. We don't even have to pay water. That's the lucky part. We don't have to pay water, but it's still fucking expensive for us because, you know, my mom is the only one providing for us, and he's not even providing anymore because she quit her job, and I'm not gonna go into it. So we're fucked. I don't know. I feel like I'm going about this the wrong way. And for the immediate gain, I might need a job. Not for myself, but, you know, to provide for not letting my mom and ease her burdens, but also, you know, be able to provide for my sister eventually. That's just what I've been thinking about, you know, this last night, I guess. Just where she would be in the future, how she would feel. Because, you know, as teenagers, right, you start to get angsty. You want your own space, your personal space. You want to distance yourself from family, and the only people you can trust are, you know, the friends you confide in. We've all been there, or you're probably going through it. I don't know what your age is, you know. I really wish I could do my hobby and not have to worry about money, but, you know, that's kind of asking a lot, considering, you know, what do PCs use to run, you know? They need electricity to run. How do you get electricity? Well, you have to fucking pay for it. And the amount of electricity you use is, you know, tied to how much you use your fucking PC. And in my case, it's pretty much almost a whole day. So I feel like I need to limit that a bit. It's just, things are tough right now. Things are tough. So when I hear people say, oh, he's only doing this for the money, or, oh, he's doing this for the money, ew. Yes, I'm fucking doing this for the money. Like, yeah, this is a hobby, but, you know, what's so wrong about earning money through YouTube? I don't get that. Like, if you have Mr. Beast, you know, earning money through his businesses, if he's, like, pouring fucking editing, like, fucking over-editing his videos, and it gets, like, 2 billion views, and it gets money off of that? Like, what's so wrong with that, you know? Maybe he doesn't need all that money, but I do. I certainly do. I guess it's just a matter of perspective, right? Like, I don't see anything wrong with doing money, like, or gaining monetary gain from having you watch, because, you know, that's just what TV shows are, or, you know, streaming subscriptions, if you will, these days. Fucking, you pay subscriptions to see your favorite shows, and they're earning money off of that. So I feel like doing YouTube and earning money off of ad revenue is basically the same fucking thing, to me, at least. I don't particularly care. Okay, let me phrase this carefully. As parasocial as I can get with this channel and how much detail I go into my life, I don't really know who is watching this. I don't know who watches this shit. I don't know where your circumstances are. And, you know, I can give you sympathies here and there if, you know, you're in the same situation as I am. Or if you share a story that, you know, you're pretty much hesitant to, you know, talk about. You know, I can appreciate that. But the numbers that I see, right, the numbers that I see on my videos will be nothing more than just numbers to me. If I hear like 500 views, you know, like, oh, 500 views, I don't actually think about, you know, 500 people. And I feel like that's kind of a shitty way of viewing YouTube. Like, if you get 500 people to view your video, that's like, wow, I got 500 people to view my video. And that in itself sounds significant. But to me, you know, that doesn't really seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, right? Because you have fucking Mr. Beast getting millions of views on his video. So I feel like I'm just downplaying my worth here, but I'm not really, because, you know, that's just my mentality. It's just how I am at a neurological level or biological level. You know, because I don't really, you know, I see relationships as like transactional, like with my mom and whatnot. I can't fathom or muster up the feeling of love. And sure, I want to change that. I've talked about that last video. But it's gonna be a very big step for me, and therapy could help out. But we have no money for that. We have no fucking money for that. Oh, go on BetterHelp. Go on BetterHelp. I'm not fucking spending money just to get diagnosed with something that could fucking backfire on me. I'm not doing that shit. You see, here's the thing with me, right? If I get financially stable off of YouTube, I can go out to therapy, whatever I want, you know? Because if I get diagnosed with like antisocial personality disorder or like psychopathy, you know, it's not going to really affect me, you know? Maybe with employers, yeah, but, you know, I have fucking YouTube. That's what I have YouTube for, right? That's my main income, or what I hope for it to be, right? But yeah, to me, numbers are just numbers. I can't really fathom, like, oh, numbers equals people. I sound spoiled. I sound not humble. But I know where I am right now. You know, I could be better. I'm not going like, oh yeah, my video just got like 1K views, bro. I'm the shit. Like, no, I'm fucking humble in that regard, right? I am not. My name is practically unknown. You know, who the fuck knows about Pi Timesworth? Who the fuck here, you know, says, oh, Pi Timesworth is my favorite YouTuber? Like, who the fuck is that? You know, and even if I get to that, you know, that level, I'm never gonna show my face or fully admit to the fact that, you know, I am Pi Timesworth, right? If someone recognizes my voice through, you know, whatever encounter, I don't fucking know. This is like way into the future. Hypothetical, basically. If someone recognizes my voice, I'm gonna just be like, hey, I'm not him, bro. I'm not him. I get that a lot, though. And I'm just never gonna admit to the fact that I am Pi Timesworth because I want my privacy. But yeah, I guess I rambled on about YouTube and whatnot. Again, next video might be Red Dead Redemption 2. Who knows? I'm definitely not starting a new campaign. I'm just gonna pick up from where I left off, and see where I go from there. If you're from over in the main channel, I have started working on the model video, and when I say I have started, I'm mostly just getting footage right now. I want to have like a little montage in there, like in between games, so there's that. One of my friends is pretty much sick. He's going through it right now, so I don't really want to do much other than try to get, you know, clips for the montage at the very least, and then edit the montage while he recuperates, because, you know, I can't just force my friend. You know, he makes his own decisions. But yeah, I don't really want to do much. And I gotta start, you know, being able to record on my own, like record my own main channel videos. So that needs to start happening. Once I show more development for the model video, you know, I'll show a teaser of what comes next. You know, I said I was gonna do a solo queue ranked experience, but I think that'll come like later on in the year, because I feel like that's a big project. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. And if you made it this far, you know, you're a fucking trooper, because I don't know anyone who's gonna watch a 20-minute video of me rambling on about YouTube and whatnot. But yeah, and I hope to see you in the next video.